On to Cam Newton now. So the Patriots officially announced the Cam signing yesterday, a one-year incentive-laden deal. They even used Cam's special font to announce it. So Fox's Tony Gonzalez joined Colin on the Herd yesterday to give his thoughts on how Cam and Bill Belichick will coexist. Take a listen.
This is an odd couple. This is I don't know. I'm trying to think of an analogy for it. I don't know, oil and water. Judging from what I've heard about Cam, and I don't know him personally, and judging from what I've heard about Bill Belichick and the Patriot way, it's not fun. And Cam likes to have fun from what I've heard. So I just think that culturally, I see this being a tough fit. I'm not saying it can't work.
Well, what do you think, Nick? Should Patriots fans be a little worried about whether Belichick and Cam can coexist together?
Fellow Patriot fans.
With respect to the great Tony Gonzalez, the third greatest player in the history of one of the greatest organizations in sports, the Kansas City Chiefs, this is not the concern. Is it a concern? Sure. But as Marlo Stanfield would say, that's one of them good problems.
Oh.
I would rather my concern be my all-time great head coach might have slight I don't even want to say personality issues, slight different personality philosophies with my super talented quarterback than the other door the Patriots could have been walking through, which is my head coach and my quarterback see everything perfectly aligned, but the quarterback's not any good. Because there's a lot of people who I'm sure see football and philosophy the way Belichick does, but they can't throw a 12-yard out, and so they are of no use to him. And I will also say this, and Coach Mangini, you obviously were there, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I've seen a great video of Bill Belichick saying he does not mind if you celebrate after a successful play. He does not mind if you succeed and in the moment you enjoy your success as long as you get right back to doing your job. I think the idea that, especially given Belichick's glowing public comments before they got Cam, that he and Cam won't vibe, I don't know that that's true. I don't think they'll shop at the same, clothing stores, but I think football-wise, they could get along quite well, and I don't think the Superman stuff is going to bother Belichick the way a lot of people say it will. I don't know where you fall on it, Coach.
I agree with Tony. I think that this should be a giant concern. Outside of the injury concern, I think that's the first thing that you got to get past. And then this is the second thing. And there was nothing wrong with Adalius Thomas when they signed him to, I think, the biggest free agent contract that the Patriots had done under Bill Belichick, but it didn't work out. Remember, he got sent home because he was late and then publicly spoke out and was suspended for a game. And then you got a guy like Michael Bennett who was suspended for a game, and Chad Johnson didn't quite work out. It's not for everybody, and it doesn't mean that they're bad players, they're untalented players, they can't work somewhere else. But it's you need to adjust to the way that they do things. And Bill's gotten a little bit older, and typically when people get older, they don't get more flexible in the way they do things. They tend to get more ingrained in the way they do things. And that being reinforced by 6 Super Bowls and unprecedented success, you need to go there and you need to do it the way that they do it. Now, the other thing I'm going to add is when they had Tom Brady, the greatest at his position, who was willing to be coached hard and do things the way that the team wanted him to do it, it was easy for other really talented players to come to that building and say, oh, if Tom can do this, I can do it too. You don't have that anymore. So there's potential for this not to work out because of that.
Okay. If this doesn't work out, I'm moving to Toronto. I'm going to root for the Argonauts, or if Rocket Ismail is still up there, because this has to work out. And I think Tony and you, Coach, have some fair points. You mentioned Thomas, you mentioned Bennett, Joey Galloway, Tebow, Chad Johnson, Albert Haynesworth. We've had a few signings that haven't worked out. We also had, and Dusty, I don't know if you printed it out, Randy Moss, his name is. He had 3 touchdowns, and then he had 23 touchdowns. And Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe we went 18-0 that season. So I think we're going to be okay. Because here's what I think Cam Newton likes to do more than anything else. Winning football games. And when you look at the Patriots' dominance and point differential for the last 14 years, there's Bill Belichick on the left, and there's wonderful Cam Newton on the right. That's what Cam Newton is interested in. That's why he took the small contract when we know that he could get a bigger contract somewhere else. So I think winning football games is all that matters right now to Cam, Nick, and I think it's going to work perfectly.
Kevin, I went to Toronto last year. It's a really lovely place. So, and I think that you can actually, I don't know if you can get in right now, but there's some nice spots for you and your family. I think the kids will be happy. There's a great international school there as well. Look, as much as you want to cite the one example where it did work, that goes back to my point, is when you have Tom Brady who's sitting in the meeting and he's getting coached the same way that everybody else is getting coached. It's hard, even as a Hall of Fame player, to come in and say, okay, I'm going to do this differently. Okay, I'm going to come in and you're going to bend to the way I want to do things, and I'm not going to adjust to the way you want to do things, even though you've had the success that you've had. And people have tried it. People have tried it, and it didn't work out, and they cut him and they moved on from him, and that's just the way it is. So if Cam's willing to adjust, I think it'll work out. If not, he's going to be gone early.
Wait a second here. This is so frustrating. A couple points. The Patriots previously had two GOATs, Brady and Belichick. And last I checked, one of those GOATs is the one that just signed Cam Newton. That's first of all. Second of all, Cam Newton not working hard or not being coachable has never been an accurate knock on him. Norv Turner said, we're going to remake your throwing motion. Guess what? He remade it. And he completed 69% of his passes until the TJ Watt hit that wrecked his shoulder in 2018. Cam Newton also is not a dumb man. You think he doesn't know the Patriot way? You think he doesn't know that?
Nick,
yeah.
That's not fair. I've never said that he doesn't work hard. I never said that he was unintelligent. I never said any of those things that you're implying I said. What I said is that there's a way of doing business in New England, and it's not for everybody. There's no officers club in New England. If you're used to being the man year in and year out, and you're used to doing things with a certain amount of flexibility because of the status that you have, and then you go to that environment, it is a shock to the system. If
you don't think Cam's willing to change, Coach?
Look, I don't know. There's been players that have gone in and have been willing to change. There's been players that have gone in and haven't, and they've been moved on from. And all Tony was saying is he has a hard time seeing it work. I'm saying if he's willing to change, then he's got an opportunity to and adjust to the way that they do things. If not, it's not going to work out. But that I don't imply that I'm saying those other derogatory things about Cam.
No. So hold on. You and I understand why you jumped in. But I wasn't saying at all that you said Cam was dumb. My point was Cam is aware things are done differently in New England, and he opted for it. So, you would have to, in order to believe that Cam thinks that New England's not going to be doing things differently than Carolina, he would have to have a total lack of awareness around the NFL. I wasn't trying at all to say that you said he wasn't a bright guy, but I do think there is, not necessarily from you, but out there's always been this, I think, unfair narrative that Cam isn't a worker. Have you seen how the guy works? Or how the guy looks, pardon me? And his level of success in this league, he obviously works. And the two smart people, Bill Belichick and Cam Newton, came together and they said, we want to work together. I just think it's going to take a shocking scenario for it not to work out, Jenna.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.